Assalamualaikum. Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the part 7 of Civic chapter number 4, Electoral Politics. In the previous lecture, we had discussed Election Commission of India. In India, elections are conducted by Election Commission. Election Commission takes decision on every aspect of conducting and controlling of election, from the announcement of the election to the declaration of the result. Election Commission implements the code of conduct and punishes any candidate or party that violate code of conduct. During the election period, Election Commission can order the government to follow some guideline to prevent the use and misuse of governmental power or to transfer some government official. And when on election duty, government officials work under the control of Election Commission and not under the control of government. Now today we are going to discuss popular participation of the people in election. Popular participation is another way to check the quality of the election process, whether people participating in the election with enthusiasm or not. If the election process is not free or fair, people will not continue to participate in election. If people have idea the process of election is not free and fair, so it is obvious that they do not participate in the process of election. People participation in election is usually measured by turnout. Turnout indicate the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their vote in election. The participation of the people is measured by turnout. Now, what do you mean by this turnout? Turnout indicate the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast, who actually give their votes in election. Over the last 50 years, the turnout in Europe and in North America has declined, but in India, the turnout has either remained stable or actually gone up. So turnout indicate the percentage of eligible voters who cast their vote in election. Generally in India, poor, illiterate and underprivileged means backward people vote in larger proportion as compared to rich and privileged section of the society. In India, poor people, illiterate people and underprivileged people, they participate in great number in election, while rich people and privileged people, they participate less. But in contrast to India, in Western democracy, for example, in USA, poor people, African Americans and Hispanic vote much less than rich and white people of America. Poor people, African American and Hispanic people of America, they vote much less in comparison to rich people and white people of America. Common people in India feel that through election they can bring pressure on political parties to adopt policies and programs favorable to them. Common people in India, they feel that through the election they can bring pressure, they pressurize political party to adopt the policies and programs which are favorable to common people. The interest of the voters in election related activities has been increasing over the years. In India, the interest of the voters in election related activities has been increasing over the years. During 2004 election, more than one-third voter took part in campaign related activity. One-third voters all over India, they took part in election campaign related activities. More than half of the people identify themselves as being close to one or the other political party. Half of the voters identify themselves they close to one or another political party. And 1 out of every 7 voters is a member of political party. 1 out of every 7 voters is a member of different political party. So this way we can say that in India, the interest of voters in election related activities has been increasing over the years. Now, acceptance of election outcome. The final test of free and fairness of the election is outcome of the election. Outcome means result of the election. The final test for the free and fairness of the election is the outcome. The ruling party lost election in India both at the national and state level routinely. The ruling party routinely lost election at central level or at state level. They routinely lost the election. In US, an incumbent or sitting elected representative rarely loses an election. On the other hand, there is a contrast in USA. The sitting member or the incumbent member, they rarely lost election. But in India, about half of the sitting MPs and MLA lose election. Candidates who are known to have spent a lot of money or buying votes, those which known criminal connection often lose election. Candidate who have criminal cases, criminal connections, and who spend lot of money to buy the vote, they often lose election. Barring very few disputes, the election outcome are usually accepted as people verdict by the defeated party. Some issues, some disputes at the time of election occurred, but barring few disputes, election outcome is accepted by defeated party. So, acceptance of election outcome is the final test for free and fair election. Now, challenges to free and fair election. Election in India are essentially free and fair. As we discussed that Election Commission is independent and free organization like judiciary. But sometimes this may not be true for every constituency. There are many limitations and challenges to Indian election. These include candidate and party with lot of money enjoy big and unfair advantage over smaller parties. Now I am going to discuss the challenges to free and fair election in India. So the first challenge, candidate and parties with lot of money, they enjoy big and unfair advantage over smaller parties. They use lot of money to attract the voters, as many as voters in their favor by using money. Second, candidate with criminal connection have been able to push others out of electoral race and to secure ticket from major parties. Some candidate with criminal connection, they push others out of election race and they are able to get election ticket from major political parties. Number 3, tickets are distributed to relatives from their families. Some family tend to dominate political parties, so because of it, tickets are distributed to their relatives from their families. Number 4, election offer very little choice to ordinary citizen, as major political parties are quite similar to each other both in policies and practice. Election offer little choice to the voters because nowadays most of the political parties, they have similar kind of policies, similar kind of ideology and similar kind of practice. So because of it, it offers little choice to the voters. The last and final challenge, smaller parties and independent candidates suffer a huge disadvantage compared to bigger parties. The bigger parties, they have lots of supporters, they have huge fund to contest the election. So because of it, smaller parties and independent candidate, they suffer a huge disadvantage because they have less supporter, they have not enough fund for the election. So these are the challenges for the free and fair election in our country. These challenges not only exist in India but also exist in many established democracies of the world. So that is why social activists and organizations have been demanding to reform our electoral system. And some of the citizens are also demanding to bring changes in our election system to overcome such challenges. So with this, I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Inshallah, we will meet again with a revision of the same chapter. Allah Hafiz.